with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. Or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
If you're overwhelmed by debt and thinking about going to a credit counseling company for help, think again, because the majority of those companies actually work for the credit card companies, and they make the credit card companies a lot of money from people just like you. But there's another way out of debt, and it's not bankruptcy, a way to reduce your debts and save you thousands of dollars. Even better, you can find out how for free by calling 1-800-998-5539. At Freedom Debt Relief, we're not a credit counseling organization. We're not a debt consolidation company. We offer a unique alternative to save you the most money possible to resolve your debt in the shortest amount of time. If you're thinking about a credit counselor, ask yourself this: are they working for you or the credit card companies? Reduce your debts and save thousands of dollars by learning the secrets to settling your debt. For free information, call 1-800-998-5539. That's 1-800-998-5539. 1-800-998-5539.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now, you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-661-2231. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-661-2231. That's 1-800-661-2231. 1-800-661-2231.
According to Forbes magazine, Saudi Arabia's Prince Al-Walid, with over $21 billion, is the 35th richest person in the world. Being a Saudi prince, you just naturally assume he inherited his money, which I'm sure is partly true. However, he made a lot of his money by investing in banking and financial services, hotels and hotel management companies, mass media, entertainment, retail, agriculture, petrochemicals, aviation technology, and real estate all over the world. He's making money off about anything people buy anywhere. You may not be a Saudi prince, but you can make money on about anything people buy almost anywhere by getting your free blue card. The Blue Card is a loyalty rewards card that not only gets you discounts on purchases, but up to 5% cash back on what you buy. If you refer someone to the Blue Card, you could earn money on what they buy. And if you refer the Blue Card to a business, you could earn on the purchases of anyone who uses the Blue Card in their store or almost anywhere.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to spend some time with Congressman Pete Sessions. He's going to join us to talk a little bit about what happened in the, I believe it was the second, is it the second circuit? Fifth Circuit. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals today. Something happened that that might bring you a little bit of hope. I'll explain the whole thing in just a little bit with the kind congressman from the Texas 32nd. Pete Sessions is going to join us. Do you remember those parents that allowed their kids to actually go to the park by themselves? It's over a mile away. The kids were out there by themselves. Free-range children. The parents were immediately I don't know that they weren't arrested for child neglect charges. Yeah. Their children were 6 and 10 years old. They were allowed to walk home from a playground a mile from their house. My God. Danielle and Alexander Maitiv of Silver Spring are still under investigation for a similar episode last month. Their children were picked up by authorities while walking home and detained for several hours. Really? Seriously? I think the most recent conclusion about CPS validates our position all along. The Maitivs were never responsible for any form of child neglect at all. No basis to investigate the family or detain the children, said Matthew Dowd, their lawyer. Good. So apparently you can let your kids go and play. Good to know. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Pete Sessions is next.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face-to-face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors List, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors List takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. If one of our contractors refuses to fix a problem, we investigate fully and pay up to $10,000 of our own money to get it fixed. On Angie's List, you can write a bad review and you're on your own. The Good Contractors List is absolutely free with a $10,000 guarantee. Reviews are good. Responsibility is better.
The Good Contractors List.
Here's a crazy idea from Cash Call Mortgage. Take the mortgage you closed in the last year and look at redoing it at today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs. Just call 855-875-CASH, and with no cost or obligation, we'll tell you how much your payment could drop with the do-over refi. And you won't pay any points, deposits, or fees. None. It's so easy. Just do the regular paperwork, most of which you already did for your last refi, and we'll do the rest. So make the cash call at 855-875-CASH for today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with absolutely no closing costs. The do-over refi, only from Cash Call Mortgage. Call 855-875-CASH and see for yourself.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
This is 660 AM The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. From the governor to the president, pledges of help for Texans who've been hit hard by record-setting floods.
All of the levels of government are working closely together at this point to make sure that the emergency response folds seamlessly into the recovery efforts.
Mayor Anise Parker of Houston, at least 17 have been killed. Amtrak will keep watch over its engineers as they seek to prevent another deadly derailment.
Amtrak says it will install inward-facing cameras on all of its trains. About 70 of the locomotives will have the equipment at first, some by the end of this year, the rest by next spring. NTSB investigators say the Viewpoint would have been helpful in its probe of the crash earlier this month where 8 people died.
Fox Radio's Gernal Scott. The FBI looking into threats against an EVA air flight from Taiwan. It landed safely in L.A. this afternoon. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, folks. Alan Thicke here, and you've probably heard, maybe from me, that if you owe the IRS money, they can do some scary things. Garnish your wages, levy your bank account, even seize your home or business. You add on the penalties and interest, and getting out of debt can seem impossible. Back taxes are for real. It's not a game. But the game changes when you have a team of tax experts on your side. The professionals at Optima Tax Relief can immediately protect you from aggressive collections. And for a limited time, the IRS is offering a tax debt forgiveness program. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. With the help of Optima, you may qualify for a settlement that saves you thousands. Nobody knows the game better than the Optima team. Don't wait till it's game over. Let their experts coach you through this. It's a win-win. Call for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months of complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation, because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
Hey, Jim, come on in. Bill, this is such a great house. Thanks. 3 beds, 2 baths, and wait till you see the pool. How'd you get the down payment? We didn't have to. We called NASA Federal Credit Union at 855-374-NASA and got a 0 down fixed rate mortgage with no private mortgage insurance on a jumbo loan.
You must be saving hundreds a year with no PMI.
More like thousands. And with no money down, we were able to add the pool. And it was fast. We got pre-qualified online in seconds and closed our loan within 30 days guaranteed. If you're buying a home, you gotta call NASA Federal at 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
Wow, with 0 down and no PMI, we could buy that house Jen likes and furnish it too. But you don't work for NASA.
You don't have to work for NASA to get a mortgage with NASA Federal. Just call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
Thanks for the tip. Now can I see the pool?
Equal housing lender. Offer valid on approved credit for primary residences. Membership eligibility required. For more details about credit cost terms and conditions, call 855-374-NASA.
Did you know colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in Texas, but that 90% of colon cancers can be avoided with early detection? Southwest Endoscopy and Surgery Center is the first facility in North Texas to use the revolutionary Fuse Full Spectrum Endoscopy System, enabling a 330-degree panoramic view of your colon. Due for a colonoscopy? Don't become a statistic. Insist on Fuse. Contact Southwest Endoscopy and Surgery Center at 817-293-9292 or visit swgiclinic.com.
Realtors have expertise in land development and management, retail, industrial, office, and investment properties. They have the experience, knowledge, and savvy to help you achieve your business and investment real estate goals.
Realtors also have the power of the National Association of Realtors behind them, working with legislators and regulators to support the key role commercial real estate plays in our national economy. Ask for a professional who understands your commercial business. Ask for a realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Got a new flash flood warning seconds ago. This is going to last until midnight for Tarrant County. A flash flood warning is now in effect until midnight for Tarrant County. Tornado watch until 10 p.m. tonight, about 52.60 minutes until that expires at 10 o'clock. Don't hassle me. I just got the terminology wrong. It's actually 52 minutes and 31 seconds. Okay, so there you go. Thank you very much. That tornado watch is for Comanche, Erath, Hood, Jack, Montague, Palo Pinto, Parker, Somerville, Wise, and Young. Other flash flood warnings in effect for Palo Pinto County and Erath County. It's a heavy weather night here on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Joining us is a guy that gets his own theme song when he joins us. We truly enjoy the company that we keep with the Congressman for the Texas 32nd, Pete Sessions, sharp-dressed man, joining us on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
And a wet, sharply dressed man tonight.
Are you drenched?
You know, not yet, but when Palo Pinto County is having a lot of rain, you know it's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Well, you know, we wanted to get rid of this drought, but I think we've succeeded beyond our wildest expectations.
You know what? It is incredible. I went 6 straight summers out to Camp Constantine, which is out Possum Kingdom Lake, and we would watch the first 2 weeks of June storms roll in, but by and large, most of it was heat lightning, and we'd get occasionally something. But let me tell you what, Lake Travis picked up 24 feet of water in one day.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, people that have been watching the bottom of their lake get drier and drier and drier as they spend all this money on lakefront property. They've been really suffering over the past few years, but not so much anymore. All the reservoirs up here are filled to bursting, and some in Central and South Florida, Central and South Texas have gotten beyond that point. Congressman, it's been tough for those folks.
Mother Nature can rule and rock anybody, and Mother Nature is welcome in Texas. But let's quit praying for rain.
Yeah, we can do that now. Yes, we can stop praying for rain now. We got a very interesting bit of information today from the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. The U.S. Justice Department asked the court to reverse a Texas judge who temporarily agreed to block the president's plan February after 26 states filed a federal lawsuit that decided that President Obama's executive order amnesty was just not something that they could countenance. And the judge down south said no, and the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals upholded his decision. That is a big day.
It is a big day, and I'll tell you what is really amazing. In a hearing that Judge Hannon held before this, about 3 weeks ago, he found out when he asked the lawyers point blank, is the administration living up to my injunction? They did not tell the court the truth and came back later and said, whoops, there were at least 6,000 visas issued that the administration was prohibited in doing, and that angered the judge because they did it knowing how he had ruled. So the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals today reaffirmed the judge, and I will tell you, we need to remember that when this is finally held up by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, it then would be up to Anton Scalia, the Supreme Court justice, as to whether the Supreme Court would hear the case. And I think that we have a pretty good law that says the President of the United States cannot have executive amnesty off his own executive orders. And it's unconstitutional, it's illegal, and it's wrong. And I think that what we've been saying all this time is truthful, and that is this president moves well beyond not only the law, but what is lawful. And the president of the United States is once again being taken to task by the courts of this country. Thank God for the Constitution.
Indeed. That, by the way, has happened an awful lot to this president because nobody has ever attempted such an amazing presidential overreach up until President Obama.
Oh, well, look at when the Supreme Court voted 9-0 over his NLRB actions and lots of other things. And this president, who's the constitutional teacher, expert, con lawyer, is, of course, fraudulent in his ability to uphold and understand the real Constitution of the United States.
Apparently so. This president has been reversed. It seems as though at some point the Supreme Court is going to stop hearing these cases, and I'm reasonable. I agree with you completely that I think this is the one that they probably will just turn aside and say no. Fifth Circuit got it correct. District Court Judge Fanning got it correct. And the president's going to have to find another way if he can. And of course, that's what really bothers me. A guy that would think up something like that might be thinking of something else.
Well, the president from the very beginning has not followed the law, and he didn't even follow his own rules and regulations with what he did. And I'll tell you, he measured 3 times and sawed once. I thought the president would have some other standing, and he does not. This is not allowed by law, that the president can be his own judge and jury, so to speak, or his own Congress and president. And this is wrong. And the American people understand that Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party is completely behind this lawlessness, and we will make them pay next year also.
We have to. I mean, if we're going to have an American system as opposed to this ever oppressive federal government, if we're actually going to have the United States of America, we're going to have to do something serious in the 2016 elections.
Well, I don't think there's any question about that. But when you say that, it will be off the standing that I believe the American people understand, and that is that we oppose the President of the United States unilaterally making decisions against the interest of the American people by making their own law. And this is where Hillary Clinton will come directly at scope, because she ignores laws and rules do not apply to Hillary. And she, above all the people that I know, is one who would disrespect the Constitution more than any other person, and she would be next in line after Barack Obama for the Democrat Party. We must remember what the problem is, and it is socialism and people that do not respect the rule of law.
Indeed. We're speaking with Congressman Pete Sessions of the Texas 32nd. Sir, while we're on the subject of Hillary Clinton, let's talk a little bit about where she finds herself with Trey Gowdy's committee, the Oversight Committee, and whether or not it seems as though Congressman Gowdy is getting a little bit frustrated. Well, he's been frustrated for quite a while, but it seems as though he's becoming a bit crestfallen when it comes to trying to get anything out of Hillary Clinton that is required by law. At least in my view, it is.
Well, I think we learned last week that, in fact, a federal judge said that they cannot, the Department of Justice, Department of State, at the discretion of the Department of Justice, cannot delay these emails, and that they would not be given that amount of time. In the larger question, Trey Gowdy is having a tough time because everything he does in his committee, he has to get a Democrat to approve of the way that they are moving. And this is why we argued for a long time for the process where we had government reform and oversight that had oversight venue over all of this. So, look, we're not crying over spilled milk. But the bottom line is Trey Gowdy is sharp, is on point, and is discovering a ton of things that are out there. The emails are yet another form of the aggressive nature of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton to evade laws and rules and regulations that do not apply to the Clintons.
Indeed.
I think.
Yeah. Well, I think that's something they're about to find out is not the case. You know, and it really disturbs me. It truly does that all of this very important historic information may be lost to the ages. I mean, the stuff that was released by the State Department, I think it was some 236 emails. The thing about it was that was pretty damaging in and of itself.
You know, there are things that officials handle. You remember when my dad was FBI director? If my dad as FBI director decided that he was going to have a server in the basement of his own home, he would have been fired. He would have been prosecuted. He would have lost his security clearance. There are things that there are reason why they're held by the agency and that they should not be open to people hacking them. There are sensitive things that secretaries of state speak to. She violated the law, and she should be prosecuted, and she should lose her security clearance, and she should be hung by her petard, so to speak, by the American people and held accountable for her actions, just like David Petraeus was.
Indeed. And once again, as we watch this all come apart, you know, I'm worried about those people who might be behind her. You know, for example, if indeed Hillary Clinton's campaign goes kerflooey, which it's well on the way to doing, that leaves John Kerry, perish the thought, Bernie Sanders, who's just a full-on socialist. I mean, this is a guy who believes the Soviet Union was right the entire time and that the United States is wrong, and he wants to turn the United States into the socialist workers' paradise. And then there's Joe Biden and so on and so forth. The bench is the opposite of deep in the Democrat Party these days.
Well, I say that Mrs. Clinton should not run because she was the most divisive person that I have ever known in Washington, D.C. And she is a person who runs with divisiveness. She is a bitter, bitter woman. But she, in fact, her actions have been lawless. And we just cannot support these. So the Democrat Party should do something different. Just as the Republican Party had lots of years when they were out of favor because we had a candidate named President of the United States, Richard Nixon, who was dead wrong. And he was dead wrong, and our party paid for it and even when we didn't support him, because he was a Republican, and Mrs. Clinton is guilty of same Richard Nixon deep and dark secrets. But we'll find out. I hope she does the right thing and is an honorable and does not run.
Well, I don't know that she's got much of a choice. The thing that raised my eyebrows was when some of the actual material involved in her server was indeed classified. And I'm sitting there going, you know, when you said that should cost her security clearance, you're exactly right. I mean, I don't even know why that's still an issue.
Well, it is because the Department of Justice is not going to pursue the matter with their darling. But the bottom line is that the hundreds of millions of dollars that the Clintons are getting from overseas to the Clinton Foundation that is solely meant to prop up and support the Clintons and their liberal activities from people who are very dangerous and anti-American around the world. This is an issue, and a Republican simply could not move forward with these accusations. No, and I do not believe Mrs. Clinton should, in fairness to the American people.
I agree. His name is Congressman Pete Sessions. He is the congressman from the Texas 32nd, joining us on the Wells Report. Coming up in just a little bit, we've got a few more minutes with the congressman on 660 AM The Answer. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started on a stormy night in North Texas.
Bill Bennett is okay with being the world's policeman.
Yeah, we are the world's policeman. Doesn't mean you intervene in every domestic dispute, but there's got to be a cop, and we're it. And without a policeman, there is chaos, as there is in American communities, there is in the world. Look what's happened in the retreat of American power here. What's happened in the last few years.
Bill Bennett's Morning in America. Weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Look, honey, this ad says we can get a new air conditioning unit for only $1,500.
That's incredible. Let's get it now.
There you go. Enjoy.
Wait, what?
You didn't think we'd install it for that price, did you?
There you go, folks. In this business, if it sounds too good to be true, well, then it probably is. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning, and if you're tired of crazy gimmicks, give us a call. Our techs don't work on commission, and we don't do high-pressure sales. Right now, with Carrier's Cool Cash, you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system. Plus, you might also qualify for an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider. So call the other guys first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
They're always coming, and sometimes they take you by surprise. Special occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements. You've got to do your best, but you want some great selection and save a bunch of money, and you will do that at Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. DGSE.com. For birthdays, anniversaries, occasions where you've got to do some very special shopping for the most important people in your life. Check out the 9 locations of Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange at DGSE.com. Obviously, gold, jewelry, earrings, pendants, engagement rings, settings, loose diamonds, gemstones, incredible prices on all the above. They are your pre-owned Rolex headquarters. It's a beautiful Rolex. Ain't nobody going to know it's previously owned, you know what I mean? Gold, silver, and precious metals investing. They've been my headquarters for this for more than 20 years. Great prices, awesome selection, fantastic customer service. Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. Get on in there today. Save a bunch of money and have a great time. DGSE.com. That's DGSE.com. Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than 35 years, I've made it my life's work to help people like you maximize your earnings and safety as you approach retirement. Earning a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar allows you, the investor, to have predictability on your return, which can help offset low returns with CDs, annuities, and the ups and downs of the stock market. One thing our fathers taught us after going through the Depression was that you don't want to be old and broke. When you work hard for your money, you expect your money to work hard for you. So call us today to get a stable, predictable return on your money. Get a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. It's the best way to fight inflation and make sure that you won't be old and broke. Call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444 and get predictable returns and peace of mind. That's 972-570-4444.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Tonight on NBC.
Are you guys ready to have a great time?
Summer's #1 show returns with an extraordinary new season, 10 years in the making.
This is it.
America's Got Talent Season 10.
The energy is electric.
With acts so special, you'd only see them in Season 10.
You gotta blow us away. Oh my, a woman went into a car and blew herself up.
Off the chair.
America's Got Talent Season 10, premiering tonight on NBC.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Don't forget that flash flood warning until 10:15 for Dallas, Ellis, and Johnson County. Also, a flash flood warning for Tarrant County, Palo Pinto, Erath County as well. A severe thunderstorm warning now until 10:15 for Hood and Somerville counties. as heavy weather descends on North Texas here on 660 AM The Answer. We are very fortunate to have Congressman Pete Sessions from the Texas 32nd joining us. Coming up in, I guess, a matter of days, the Supreme Court of the United States is going to rule on state subsidies for Obamacare. I have looked this over as best I can. I don't see how the court can, with a straight face, uphold those subsidies, which means that Obamacare might likely change. Sir, you're right in the middle of all of that. What are the Republicans planning on doing I know that they offered a plan that showed up a couple of weeks ago. Where does that stand, and what's the circumstance now?
Yeah, these are really good questions. And I think the answer pretty much is we are going to find out what the Supreme Court does say. The law is pretty specific in tax law, and that is states or regions of the country cannot be taxed at a different rate or way than others are. And so unless everybody is held to be the same way, which is not what the law is, I think the Supreme Court would remand it back to the Congress to fix what is wrong. Well, I think you and I both know that what is wrong is the way the law is written. The law today does terrible things for even people who are in Obamacare. And so what the Republicans want to do is to fix what is wrong with the bill. The biggest problem is that it is a disincentive because of the mandates on business and on individuals that do not allow them a chance to have a free market plan. And so what Republicans want to do is to come up with a free market opportunity. Now, we're now all of a sudden, as soon as we say that, fraught with how to do that. And the way to how to do it is, I believe, is that Obamacare today has hundreds of billions of dollars that is paying for 12 million Americans to have what is in essence a plan that would reimburse a cost of $2,500 for an adult and $1,500 for a child. Why not give that to every single American and let them go and establish their own market base and marketplace to where they could have and pay for their own health care and use the money that's out there today. This is just one of the ideas that's out there. How do we go and form a new marketplace rather than working against the American people and families? So, big issue. What are we going to do? We are going to wait until the Supreme Court rules and then answer accordingly with the options that we believe will be given to us.
Well, I spent a little bit of time with a healthcare plan in the private sector, and you know what? That was pretty darn good. It worked really beautifully for me, and I kind of liked the fact that I didn't have to worry about my employer having anything to do with my health insurance. I mean,
well, see, that's the key. You just hit the key right there. This money should be available to the individual.
Hear, hear.
And it should be available to the individual so they can make their own decisions. And when you do that, what you do is immediately you empower all sorts of people to own their own health care. It becomes portable, it becomes deductible, and they can then decide what they want for their own, themselves and their family.
Indeed.
And here's the best part. It's not use it and lose it at the end of the year. You can roll it over and save the money if you don't use it one year to the next.
I think that's a great plan.
These are important market ideas.
I think they are, and I certainly hope that it works, and we'll keep our eyes on it. And, sir, thank you so much for your time tonight.
You betcha. God bless you. Listen, stay dry.
You too, okay? Take good care and enjoy your time here in North Texas. Welcome back home. Congressman Pete Sessions from the Texas 32nd on the Wells Report. This is 660 AM. The Answer. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
From Plano to Denton down to Louisville too. Huffines has it. Also in McKinney, we'll prove it to you. Huffines Huffines has it. Service, selection, savings, and more. Feel the excitement when you walk through our door. Huffines has it. Huffines has it.
And now, during Huffines Chevrolet's Vehicle Upgrade Month, get in a new Huffines Chevy car, truck, or SUV for perhaps a lower monthly payment than you're presently paying. This means newer technology, reduced maintenance and repair costs, a longer and more comprehensive warranty, increased safety, and better gas mileage and finance terms. For more, click to Huffines.net or find new roads to Huffines Chevrolet in Louisville or Ray Huffines Chevrolet in Plano.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. I have helped them help so many of you with blade-free HD Intra LASIK and ditching the glasses and the contacts and all kinds of good things to help you see better and live better. And now my friends at Climate Evangelista come at you with help with something I'd never heard before. DLS, Dysfunctional Lens Syndrome. What is it? If you're over 40, got some minor glare in your vision that you didn't used to have, maybe poor near vision without your reading glasses, particularly in low light conditions, that may be DLS, Dysfunctional Lens Syndrome. Get screened in Arlington or Plano at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Call for details at 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020. Following the DLS treatment that Climate Evangelista Eye Center has, patients have reported a bunch of benefits: reduced dependency on reading glasses, bifocals, improved night vision, improved reading, better computer vision, all from Climate Evangelista Eye Center. So call them at 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020.
Do you have an IRA or an old 401k from a previous employer? I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Are you wondering about how to grow your investments to get to retirement, but want more choices than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities? Do you even understand your current investments? Let me introduce to you Walt Parker.
JD, as usual, the message is quite simple. There are many more investment choices than you realize. You worked hard for your money for years, and now is the time to understand your investments and know your choices. InvestingMakesMeSick.com offers education and our We Come to You service and more choices than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities.
Yes, sir. To schedule an appointment with Walt or an InvestingMakesMeSick.com advisor, call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or log on to InvestingMakesMeSick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
The Good Contractors List is a free service designed to protect you. We meet all of our home service contractors face-to-face and feel so confident in our final choices that we back their work with a $10,000 guarantee. We go the extra mile in our interview process to make sure that the contractor is not only honest in quality, but able to offer the most affordable and fair rates. For instance, how do you pick who you call for air conditioning? Did you know that the air conditioning industry is commonly known for misdiagnosis and unneeded upselling? The higher their overhead, the more money they need to stay in business. So they flash tempting offers to get their foot in the door, and the sales game is on. The air conditioning companies we choose are simply stable and proven companies that offer the highest quality at fair and honest rates. And to protect you, they've all agreed to do an absolutely free second opinion if you're being told that you have to replace your air conditioning unit. If you need AC or any other type of home service, visit thegoodcontractorslist.com first.
Good Contractors List.
Here's a crazy idea from Cash Call Mortgage. Take the mortgage you closed in the last year and look at redoing it at today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs. Just call 855-875-CASH, and with no cost or obligation, we'll tell you how much your payment could drop with the do-over refi. And you won't pay any points, deposits, or fees. None. It's so easy. Just do the regular paperwork, most of which you already did for your last refi, and we'll do the rest. So make the cash call at 855-875-CASH for today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with absolutely no closing costs. The do-over refi, only from Cash Call Mortgage. Call 855-875-CASH and see for yourself.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Mark Davis will be here tomorrow morning, bright and early. Say, oh, I don't know, 7 o'clock. Let's find out what he's got planned for us tomorrow.
Hey, JD, good Tuesday evening. Tomorrow morning on our Wednesday show, we'll pay attention, of course, to the Texas floods and what our neighbors are experiencing. Then we'll see what the headlines hold, and I'll have a question for everybody. Is there a growing conservative skepticism over the death penalty? Not for me, there isn't, but I have to tell you, in Nebraska, a deep red state, they may do away with the death penalty. Now, Texas is not going to soon follow, but is the death penalty becoming too unreliable to confidently support? We'll kick off at 7 with Overnight News, right here on 660 AM The Answer.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. I sincerely appreciate that, sir. We'll be looking forward to hearing what you have to say on that and a lot more tomorrow between 7 and 10 on 660 AM The Answer. Okay, so there is a flash flood warning until 12:15 tonight. That's been extended. That's for Dallas, Ellis, and Johnson County. A severe thunderstorm warning now in effect until 10:15 for Hood and Somerville counties. Other flash flood warnings include Tarrant, Palo Pinto County, and Erath County. A tornado watch is under 1 p.m. for Comanche, Erath, Jack, Montague, Palo Pinto, Parker, Wise, and Young counties. We are keeping our eyes exactly on the weather, and we will make sure that you're covered so we don't have to worry about or have to worry a little less about what's coming out of the sky tonight. You keep it right here on 660 AM The Answer, and we will take care of you, I promise. A couple of bills to expand gun rights that had been expected to fly through the Republican-controlled Texas legislature have hit several snags. And apparently, from what we understand, the votes are coming up very, very soon. In fact, one of them, HB 910, open carry in Texas, is one that we're going to be paying attention to. Last week, Senator Huffines requested an amendment to be added to the open carry Texas bill that would prevent police officers from stopping open carry people simply to ask if they had a license to carry in the open. Joining us, Representative Don Huffines. He is Senator Don Huffines, in fact, from the Senate District 16. He's from Senate District 16. Senator Huffines, welcome to the Wells Report. I know I'd get all this stuff ready. It's just very important to introduce you properly, sir.
Oh, that's quite all right. Great. Good evening, Jon-David. How are you today? How are you doing tonight?
I am fine. I am not surfing, so I consider myself one of the fortunate ones in Texas not to have to be.
You probably had to swim to work.
Just about, sir. Just about. Let's talk a little bit about HB 910. That's open carry in Texas. Talk to us a little bit about that. Most of us thought that was going to go through pretty quick.
Well, it is. It's progressing. It's going through the process down here, and it had a little short stop on the Senate when it came back by. That bill was originally started in the Senate. We sent it over to the House, and it got a House bill attached to it, so we're keeping that number. And I put an amendment on it Friday, and that the House had on it, and the Senate stripped it off, and I put it back on, and we had quite a humdinger of a debate.
I bet you did. How did you come out on that debate?
6.5 hours later, it was, I won. We won the debate, so we got the amendment back on, and the amendment really solidifies and reinforces our Fourth Amendment rights that police and law enforcement cannot detain or stop anyone carrying openly a handgun that has a CHL, of course, solely because they are carrying.
Now, that's the way that's going to be. In order to be able to carry open, you have to have a CHL. Is that correct?
Absolutely. You certainly do.
I don't think I have any problems with that whatsoever.
Well, I'd hope not. I hope not. Just we're restoring the Second Amendment, our liberties. These are important. I look at this as the Constitution is designed to restrain government and protect our liberties that God gave us. And one of your main liberties you get is to be able to defend yourself and your family. And of course, it's obviously enshrined in our Second Amendment.
Yes, indeed it is. We are speaking with it's Senator Don Huffines from Texas Senate District 16. He is talking to us about a couple of bills. So let's talk a little bit about this open carry bill. Where does it go next? I know that Governor Greg Abbott said that he would sign it if it makes it to his desk. Is that actually going to happen?
I'm very, very confident that's going to happen. Right now, it's over in the House, back to the House, and they have to concur with the amendment that we put on. But it was also one that they had previously put on. So it's really more of a technicality, and I expect it to sail through the House tonight, as a matter of fact, or tomorrow at the latest.
Right, and then you guys are going to vote on it tomorrow. And how long will it take before the actual bill is the law of the land?
Well, actually, the Senate will not be voting on that bill again. It's already cleared the Senate. So it's up to the House now to concur with the Senate change, and then it goes to in which we will. I mean, they'll concur with us. I'm confident of that, and there's outside chance that they could get in a big debate, but I don't think so. And then it goes straight to the governor's desk, and it would take effect in September
of this year. All right, sir. Talk to us a little bit about the campus carry bill. That would allow concealed handguns in college classrooms. It cleared the Senate in March. It's scheduled for a House vote tomorrow. Talk to us a little bit about that bill, and that's another one that ran into a few roadblocks on the way.
Well, that bill it's a little more controversial, but I'm cautiously optimistic on that because of course it definitely cleared the Senate, and I'm cautious that the House will clear campus carry. It's a good piece of legislation, and I'm very excited about getting that out of the legislature and over to the governor's desk.
Yeah, indeed. Governor Abbott did say that he was going to expand gun rights. Is he planning on signing that one? I think he is, isn't he?
It's up now. I mean, yes, he is planning on signing that. You know, that bill, a lot of people really have misconceptions about that campus carry bill. Let me tell you, what that bill mainly is going to benefit is the faculty and the staff at these universities, because there's not that many students that have a CHL. And, you know, you must have a CHL to carry. And, you know, you keep in mind, too, I want your listeners to really understand, these are the good guys. I mean, CHL holders are great patriots. They're law-abiding Texans, and that's who you want around you.
Yeah, indeed. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you're in a situation here where you watch all the things that have happened with campus shootings, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I have been very clear about the fact that as far as I was concerned, if I had a daughter that was going to a college campus, she'd be carrying in her purse every single day. And oh, by the way, she would know how to use it. But that doesn't. I don't feel comfortable about breaking the law, and I'm really glad that finally in Texas we're getting some of this stuff done. It's taken a long, long time, Senator.
You're right, Jon-David, and it's very frustrating. It really is. I mean, after all, 45 other states have some form of open carry. I would like to inform you, though, that the open carry would not be permissible on college campuses. So you concealed carry only on the college campuses.
Well, that makes perfectly good sense to me. I mean, that is something that you don't want to have a lot of people brandishing weapons. Let's talk a little bit about what that would mean. Let's say, for example, Oklahoma passed this a while back, and they said that from what I have heard, that it amounted to a whole lot of nothing.
That is almost always the case. As far as I have heard, universally, that is the case. All this uproar about the open carry and campus carry, it will amount to nothing. I suspect you won't even notice it or hear about it 2 years from now.
Well, I certainly hope not. I mean, I'm in a situation here where I believe that we should be able to do this. I agree with Governor Rick Perry. You know, Governor Rick Perry looked at me right in the face over lunch one day, and he said, you know what? If you've got a CHL, you ought to be able to take a gun anywhere you want to go. And I agreed with him 100%, still do.
I concur with you too, Jon-David. I really do. I mean, we need to restore more of our Second Amendment rights and restore our liberties, and that's what we're here. That's what I'm down here trying to do.
I understand. So what else is going on as this biennium comes to a close? Can you believe it? It's almost over. The 84th legislative session is just about at an end. This is the last week of it. What else is on your radar?
We've got a lot of the big legislation tonight. I'm actually here in the Capitol tonight and just stepped off the floor to do your call. We'll be working past midnight tonight and midnight tomorrow, and we're hearing just a ton of great legislation out of the Senate over to the House, and we're trying to get all that back over here. Of course, we got a lot of bad bills too, so I'm on the killing spree. That's a target-rich environment right now.
So what's the number one thing to get stopped by Senator Huffine? Huffines.
They're too numerous to name, and I'm not sure I can stop them. But I do have my one vote out of the 31, and I'm exercising that quite readily.
Well, outstanding, sir. Listen, we do appreciate all of your work on this. This has been tough. This has been one of these things that turned out to be more effort than what a lot of people thought it was going to be. But for those of us who believe that an armed society is a polite society, I think this is a very good thing. And thank you very much for all the work that you have done on behalf of Texans, sir.
Oh, thank you for all you've done also. And let me tell you, it is a new day down here in Austin, and we're going to get some good stuff done.
Well, finally, thank you so much for all of your work, sir. God bless you, and take good care, and try not to stay out too late tonight passing laws.
Thank you very much.
All right, Senator Don Huffines, State Senate District number 16, joining us on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. And yeah, he had to work very, very hard to get those bills passed. You still happy with those? You still happy with those two ideas? I could not feel better. I know that open carry is kind of weird. I know. But the only thing about it is that I think, like they found out in Oklahoma, that really nobody thought two things about it. It was no big deal. Everybody just sort of said, oh, okay. I mean, it was like one of those situations, when you get your CHL the first time, you finally are legal to carry, concealed, and you're sitting there going, I wonder how weird this is going to be. It felt a little strange for about 20 minutes. And then after that, I felt like I'd been carrying my whole life and wondered why I didn't. It was just one of those things that made perfect sense to me, and always has and always will. And I am finally glad that the voters' will is being enacted at long last. This is one of those things where people who are in power, really don't want anybody to have any way of challenging them in any way, shape, or form. And certainly gunplay is not a way to challenge someone who is, for example, a legislator. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that people in the power elite believe that they're the only people that should have any power whatsoever, and that the rest of us should just go along. And frankly, that's not in Americans' DNA. We left everywhere on the planet to move here so that we could call our own shots and do what we wanted to do, not what somebody wanted us to do. And the Second Amendment flat guarantees that the other amendments are upheld. And as far as I'm concerned, that answers everything. I believe that our children have the right to be safe in a college campus. And I say children, the people that can carry CHLs are 21 and over, right? 21 and over. We have lots of people under the age of 21 that spend time with weapons every single day. They're called American soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. I can't believe that the best and brightest of us can't figure out what to do next when they're finally given the opportunity to be able to defend themselves in a responsible and well-trained way. I think that's what needs to happen. It should have happened long ago. And I don't know why it is that we didn't push this sooner and get this done faster. But I guess all's well that ends well. The trick is how we can't let this slip back. That's the thing. We can't let this slip back. Chicago is going through a murder fest. The murder rate in Chicago is just out of all reasonable limits. And what does the mayor call for today? More gun control. He calls for more gun control. I look at this and I'm going, what you need to do is you need to trust people to defend themselves. And those people that prey on people that can't defend themselves will get an abrupt and final surprise. And this will stop. It's just unbelievable that we have got to fight this after our founding fathers knew that this was the case over 230 years ago. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Back with more in just a moment.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months on complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at USMD Prostate Cancer Center. You know, cancer is challenging enough without having to head all over town for a test over here, a doctor's appointment over there, maybe something else across town, some other direction. At USMD Prostate Cancer Center, you're going to one place. And there's one website, 888prostate.com, one phone number, 1-888-PROSTATE, and one team of doctors, specialists, patient navigators, all committed to making sure that prostate cancer is put behind you so that you can live a long and healthy life. USMD Prostate Cancer Center, the message begins with testing. Every guy needs to get tested, started with that 40th birthday. And after that, clean test, see you next year. If there's something in there, maybe it's so teeny tiny we look at it for a while. It's active surveillance. Maybe it's cryotherapy time, robotic surgery time. They do it all at USMD Prostate Cancer Center, saving guys' lives one guy at a time. So guys, let's go. 1-888-PROSTATE or 888prostate.com. USMD Prostate Cancer Center, 1-888-PROSTATE or 888prostate.com.
Looking to buy your first home but scared off by the big down payment?
Yeah, after paying for the wedding, we're afraid we'll be renting forever and miss out on these low interest rates.
Fear not. You can buy a home now with a zero down mortgage from NASA Federal. Plus, there's no private mortgage insurance. You could save thousands not paying PMI.
Wow, with no down payment and no PMI, we could buy that house we saw last weekend.
The zero down mortgage with no PMI is perfect for first-time homebuyers who want to take advantage of historically low rates but can't swing the down payment. Just call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
I can't wait to give our landlord the notice.
To end your rental woes, call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
But I don't work for NASA.
You don't have to work for NASA to get a zero down mortgage with no PMI from NASA Federal. Just call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374. Equal housing lender. Offer valid on approved credit for primary residences. Membership eligibility required. For more details about credit cost terms and conditions, call 855-374-NASA.
You've helped make Lumber Liquidators North America's largest specialty retailer of hardwood flooring. To say thanks, we've made unbelievable price cuts on top quality floors at our customer appreciation sale. It's your chance to get pre-finished hardwood for just 99 cents and hand-scraped acacia hardwood for $2.99. That's half of what you'd pay at other stores, plus deals on 400 beautiful floors, including quality laminate from 49 cents and 24-month special financing. You trust our value, we value your trust. So get to the customer appreciation sale today. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You got to get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of Choice Hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. you always have a choice.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. His name is Stephen. Stephen, welcome to the show. Good to have you here, sir.
Hey, TG.
Hey, man.
Hey, if I remember at the HB 910, I just looked it up. Actually, they're supposed to become effective January 1st, 2016.
I wonder if that, I wonder if they're going to move that up. Maybe that was some of the changes that they made. I don't know.
Yeah, if they did that, they'd have to send it back into conference to reconcile it with the with the Senate.
Yeah. What do you think about it, Stephen?
I like the idea of being able to open carry. Personally, I would just do it if I was out, in the boat or fishing, camping,
sure,
hiking, somewhere where it's less inconvenient to dig out your carry weapon when you're
yeah,
sweaty and hot.
Sure. My situation is that I really believe that anything that helps us defend ourselves is something that will also help defend society. And I think that's something that we really need to be able to do. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know that I'll ever carry open. I don't know why I would. I mean, the advantage is supposed to be in carrying covert. Why would you go through all that training in order to carry open? It doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah, maybe in the future it'll just be open carry as constitutional. Anybody can do it as opposed to just having to have a concealed carry license.
Well, believe it or not, that's the way it is in Nevada. You can carry open right this very day. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
The Mark Davis Show.
On our Wednesday show, we'll pay attention to the Texas floods and what our neighbors are experiencing. Then we'll see what the headlines hold. Is there a growing conservative skepticism over the death penalty? Not from either, is it? But in Nebraska, a deep red state, they may do away with it. Texas is not going to soon follow. But has the death penalty become too unreliable to support? We'll kick off at 7 with Overnight News.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or get.
Checking 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. I have to clear my throat now. For those people in the chat room, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. This the video is going to catch up here in a little bit, and anyway, I appreciate it. Here we go. The most qualified person to be certainly one of the most qualified people. No. Rick Santorum is a genius. Rick Santorum is a genius. And you're going to find out the next time. No, that's not what I want to say then. What do I want to say here? In an ever-expanding field of Republican presidential candidates, a new name may just be added before we have it. May be added. In a large field of Republican presidential candidates, a new name may be added in the next couple of days. That name, Rick Santorum. On the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to speak with Senator Santorum. We're going to find out what his plans are for the future of the United States of America and whether or not he plans to lead us there. If so, how's he going to do it? We're going to answer all those questions and more with Rick Santorum coming up on the Wells Report. Okay. Rick Santorum is a genius. I know this because I've had a chance to sit down and talk to him one-on-one a lot. And this guy really knows what he's doing. Fortunately, he's also running for president of the United States. Is he going to make it? I certainly hope so. This country could do an awful lot worse. On the next edition of the Wells Report, I'm going to let you hear what I've heard from Rick Santorum over the past couple of years. He's going to join us live, 9 o'clock on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. You okay with that? All right. Mark Davis, Jon-David Wells. Mark Davis, thanks very much for letting me drop by and say hi and tell people what's coming up on the Wells Report a little bit later on. Rick Santorum has made his planes? That would be plans. Mark Davis, thanks very much for this wonderful opportunity to drop by and tell people what's coming up on the Wells Report a little bit later on tonight. Rick Santorum is going to join us. We now know what his plans are, and now we're going to find out how he plans to execute them. It's an entire half hour beginning at 9 p.m. tonight. Next time on the Wells Report, don't miss it.
I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. You've probably already heard that you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system.
Okie dokie. All right, here we go. Save this date, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells, here for Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. June 25th, 6:30 p.m. could be the day that you take the first step in learning how to manage your investments. Simply make plans to join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas. No fuss, no hassle, great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. I'm going to start over. Save this date, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report, here for Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. June 25th at 6:30 could be the day and time that you take the first step in learning how to manage your investments. Simply make plans to join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas. No fuss, no hassle, great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. With a no-cost meal to boot. You'll learn why you should understand your investments. Absolutely. And also why you should not invest anywhere until you do understand them. You'll also find out why they prefer the We Come to You service provided by Investing Makes Me Sick. No. You'll also find out why they prefer the We Come to You service provided by InvestingMakesMeSick.com. They know you've worked hard for your money, getting the information you'll need to help you choose how to investment. They know you've worked hard for your money, getting the information you need to help you choose how to invest it is the next step. To reserve your spot for this free seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas on June 25th at 6:30 p.m., call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or register by logging on to InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Good God. Who wrote that?
Nobody that you know.
Wow. Okay. All right, here we go.
You've got parts.
I've got parts.
Yeah, I've got Walt.
Parts.
I've got Walt in my email.
All right, we good?
Yeah, we got 2 minutes.
All right, here we go. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells, here for my friend Walt Parker with InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've had the good fortune of getting to know Walt and how they help people at InvestingMakesMeSick.com for several years now. What? Okay. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells for my friend Walt Parker. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells, here for my friend Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've had the very good fortune of getting to know Walt and all the people at InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've known them for several years, and believe me, these people are people you want to get to know. Walt, talk to me a little bit about Walt, everybody seems to want to offer the same old stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Tell us what's the difference with what you do. This is why getting help making a decision about your investment planning is so very important. Walt and his team offer We Come to You service and appointment times that work for you. To schedule one of those, an appointment call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or check out their all-new website at investingmakesmesick.com. All right. You want me to wait? Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from The Wells Report with Walt Parker from InvestingMakesMeSick.com. No. Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from The Wells Report with Walt Parker here from InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Walt, I was looking at your new website. I've got to admit, I'm impressed. Most people say they listen to your ads for 2 years before calling. Don't wait 2 years. Call Walter right now. Call Walt right now, 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833, or visit their new website at investingmakesmesick.com. John Wells of the Fourth Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the Fourth Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks very much for being a part of this radio broadcast. By the way, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning until 10:50 for Dallas, Ellis, Comanche, Erath, Parker, Hood, and Somerville counties. Flash flood warnings remain in effect for Tarrant, Dallas, Ellis, Johnson, Palo Pinto, and Erath County. Tornado watch until 10 p.m. for Comanche, Erath, Jack Montague, Palo Pinto, Parker, Wise, and Young. Heavy weather in the area tonight. We're keeping our eyes on it for you so you don't have to. You just keep it right here. On 660 AM, The Answer, we will take very good care of you. We promise. Telephone number again, 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. The Supreme Court said today that it will review a major challenge to how populations are counted and political districts are drawn in a case that arises from Texas, but affects other states as well. Michael Doyle reports this from the McClatchy, Washington Bureau. Conservatives want the court to rule that states must balance legislative districts based on eligible voters rather than a total population count that includes unauthorized immigrants. Texas currently apportions state districts so that they have roughly equal total populations, but with disparities in the number of eligible voters. Doing so fails to ensure that the citizens of Texas in one part of the state are given approximately the same weight as the votes of citizens in another part of the state. This, according to the conservative challengers in a legal filing. What this means is this. As we come to this conversation, political districts are drawn based on population, not registered voters. This means that people who are not registered voters are represented in those particular districts at some level in some way. Unfortunately, a lot of those ways are illegal. And indeed, there is a problem. If most people say in Texas County B, all right, B County, but wait, there is a B County, isn't there? In C County, all right, if C County has a very small number of illegal immigrants, chances that there would be any kind of vote dilution is very small. However, in say, for example, Dallas County, that's a different story. There are lots of people there that are illegal, and many of them vote. Now, we're taking steps to make sure that that doesn't happen with voter ID and the like. But there are a lot of people voting that shouldn't be voting in this nation. And finally, the Supreme Court looks like they're planning on doing something about it. The case is called Evanwell versus Abbott. It returns the High Court to the politically delicate question of how to translate the constitutional guarantee of one man, one vote. The oral argument will be heard during the court's next term starting in October. Believe it or not, Texas officials urged the court not to take the case. Multiple precedents from this court confirm the total population is a permissible apportionment base under the Equal Protection Clause, said Texas Solicitor General Scott Keller. Texas was outnumbered, though, by a myriad of conservative advocacy groups that pressed the Supreme Court to hear the challenge. Using total population alone for reapportionment purposes without the consideration of alternate counting methods can unfairly, unreasonably, and unconstitutionally dilute rural voters. This, according to attorneys for Tennessee legislators and the Conservative Judicial Education Project. As is customary, the Supreme Court did not offer a written explanation or further commentary on its decision to hear the Texas case. At least 4 of the court's 9 justices must agree for a petition to be granted. Now, here's what I suspect happened. If indeed there are precedents from the Supreme Court of the United States that total population in a particular given district is permissible, there is no reason for them to rule any other way based on this case. So I would suspect that a total population remedy is going to be upheld in the Supreme Court in this decision. My concern about all this is that it shouldn't be. My concern in this is that, I'll be perfectly honest with you, from the time this country was first born, there has been a belief that politics would at least conform and comport themselves with the law of the land regarding who can vote and why. In the original idea of the Constitution, correct me if I'm wrong, you had to be 21 years of age, male, and a landowner to vote when the United States first came together. That has obviously changed, because the draft involved taking kids that were 18 years of age, running them through basic training, sending them to infantry school, and off to the rice paddies of Vietnam. Congress, rightly so, lowered the voting age to 18. This was a benefit to the Democrat Party because 18-year-olds don't know what's going on mostly, especially when it comes to political machinations, shall we say. So now we have a situation where we have an overabundance of illegal immigrants in the United States. There are tens of millions of them. And because they tend to vote Democrat, there are a lot of people that believe that it's okay for them to vote, mostly Democrats. You'll notice that whenever anybody tries to say, okay, in order for you to vote, you really do have to qualify to vote. The people that say that that's not true, the people that are against voter ID, are all Democrats, which tells you, just by pure logic, it tells you the Democrats are benefiting from an illegal vote because they fight so hard to keep it in play. That may indeed be the way this works now. And if indeed it's possible for a total population remedy in political districts to be upheld, then it will be. And we'll be right back where we started, unless we do something else. What is that, Jon-David? Well, at some point, and I certainly hope this happens in my lifetime, the government and the governments of the United States and the states need to get out of the bigotry business. Yeah, the bigotry business. You see, when you start looking at terms like total population for a political district, that's the way it ought to be talked about, total population. But that isn't the way it's talked about. It's total black population, total Hispanic population, total white population. That's the problem. Remember me talking about how, with division comes political victory? What we have done is we have allowed these politicians to continually divide us. And they've done it so long and they've done it so well that we don't even realize it's happening. In order to set up congressional districts, you set them up based on population, total population of the district. Except that's not the way we actually do it. We create these political districts that are convoluted and absurd and crazy and nutty because what we want to do is we want to get a particular ethnic group to be the dominant group in a particular given district. Which I consider to be absolutely stupid. It does prolong race baiting politics. And we need to stop it. This is a good start. I don't know that it's going to be upheld. I don't know that that's what's going to happen. I don't know that the Supreme Court of the United States is going to arguably reverse itself and say, okay, you're right. What we want to do now is we want to say that only registered voters can vote in a district. Now that makes logical sense. It's perfectly understandable, but I doubt very sincerely that they're going to uphold that. Do I wish they would? Yes, I do. Because voting is a civic responsibility. To not vote is shooting yourself in the foot when you are a part of a country that is all about freedom, liberty, and freedom. You want to keep it like that. You don't want to give these people an opportunity to screw that all up. And yet, it's happened. What we want to do is we want to split these districts up under ethnic lines so that we, can exploit a particular voting block in a particular part of a city or a state or a nation. I say that votes ought to be colorblind. That's what I say. I say they ought to be legal. I say that people that vote should be legally eligible to vote. And then that we should come up with some way for them to prove it. And when people say, no, you can't do that, no, you can't do that, then we understand who it was that was working at cross purposes for a healthy, safe, and well-represented America. The Supreme Court's going to hear the case. I wonder what they're going to hear. I wonder what they're going to talk about. I wonder where this decision will go. What will be the outcome? What will be the next step after the Supreme Court finds one way or another? I don't know. I do know this. The closer we get to non-racial districts and one man, one vote, the healthier our republic will be. This is the Wells Report.
There's nothing like foundations in the springtime. Oh, it's a time of change. Hey, Mark Davis from my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. And with drought and then moisture and then cold and then warm temperatures, your foundations are moving and grooving. You got cracks in the sheetrock and doors that are sticking and all kinds of problems. You want someone who's going to solve them reliably. Call my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. They've done stuff for me, and you will love how they put somebody on site for your entire foundation repair. They're the only people with Millennium composite pilings. You're going to get a warranty that you can hand down to other homeowners. It's peace of mind and security for your foundation repair. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com. Don't be one of those homeowners that says, oh, I wish I'd called a better company. Call the best company right now. Abacus Foundation Repair. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or Abacus, ABACUS, abacusfoundationrepair.com.
In the early 60s, Dolores and Ray Butcher and their 3 daughters earned a trip to Disneyland by collecting S&H green stamps. It was a dream come true. Today, nearly everyone has a wallet or keychain full of loyalty reward cards that they use for discounts, gifts, and even free dinners at their favorite restaurants. For years, an international company has been offering a universal loyalty rewards card in Europe. We call it the Blue Card, one card to replace dozens. The Blue Card offers discounts up to 5% cash back. It even accumulates points to shop at participating merchants and an online mall. Today, they're looking for independent representatives to launch this card in the U.S. and Canada. It is free to get the card and free to become a representative. You could help launch the Blue Card in your area and get paid wherever it is used. Imagine you could be paid every time someone fills their gas tank, buys groceries, orders an airline ticket, or purchases just about anything.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582 or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. Are you tired of low interest rates with the banks? I know I am. How about the deceptive terms and the bogus returns on annuities? Or maybe you're one of those who believe the stock market has actually peaked. Where can you get a decent return on your money without traditional risk? Well, I'm glad you asked. Texas First Financial offers a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. $100,000 investment returns you $9,000 in interest. No gimmicks, no smoke and mirrors, just solid returns without stock market risk. Call Texas First Financial. We have an exclusive on this investment, so call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444. You'll be glad you did.
Business owners, listen up. Give me an I.
Give me an M.
Give me a Z. What's that spell? Incorporation, protection, success. Incorporate your business.
INC. If you're about to start a business, these 3 little letters can make the difference between making a fortune and losing everything. Because if you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, you can lose it all. Your home, your car, even your life savings. That's why Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners. So you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. Protect your home, protect your car, protect your life savings. Call 1-800-500-9483 for your free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy.
Incorporation, protection, success. Incorporate your business.
Call now for your free guide. 1-800-500-9483. That's 1-800-500-9483.
660 AM. The Answer. Only only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
Yee-hoo! You are listening to the Wells Reports. Listen to Mark Davis tomorrow morning beginning at 7 o'clock. He's got a great show planned. Here, let's get a preview. Mark, what have you got going?
Hey, JD, good Tuesday evening. Tomorrow morning on our Wednesday show, we'll pay attention, of course, to the Texas floods and what our neighbors are experiencing. Then we'll see what the headlines hold, and I'll have a question for everybody. Is there a growing conservative skepticism over the death penalty? Not for me, there isn't, but I have to tell you, in Nebraska, a deep red state, they may do away with the death penalty. Now, Texas is not going to soon follow, but is the death penalty becoming too unreliable to confidently support? We'll kick off at 7 with overnight news right here on 660 AM The Answer.
The answer to that, by the way, is that if they do indeed decide to set aside the death penalty in Nebraska, they'll bring it back. They will bring it back. There's an absolute deterrent effect. And they'll have to. California lost its mind and did away with the death penalty, only to bring it back 2 years later. When, oh yeah, the murder rate went through the roof. Look, society cannot give away that card. A responsible society has a death penalty. An irresponsible society abuses it. But a responsible society uses it as they need to. It's regrettable, but that is one of the problems of living in a responsible society. Just the way it is. The Supreme Court going to hear the Texas one-man, one-vote case. I wish it was the case that decided that race should not be a factor in political districts. The gerrymandered districts we deal with right now are hurting our nation, and they should be stopped. You shouldn't come up with a district that is hither, thither, over there, and yonder, and so on, just for the sake of politics and political advantage. What you need to do is you just need to count persons. That's all. Because I guarantee you that we're not going to have a society that is anything less than racist if we don't stop it at its inception, and that is the way we vote. That's just the way it is. We, the people of the United States, not we, the black people, not we, the white people, not the brown people, not the yellow people, not the red people. We, the people. And we, the people, need to be on guard against those rabble-rousers who would seek to divide us. We have neighbors. We don't have black neighbors. We don't have brown neighbors. We don't have white neighbors, yellow neighbors, red neighbors, purple neighbors. We have neighbors. You know, Martin Luther King looked forward to a society where people were judged by the contents of their character. How can that ever happen if our political districting process turns us all into racial commodities? We can't do that. It's time to stop. And I wish the Supreme Court was going to hear that case. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Are you living with prostate enlargement? Do you pee more often than you used to? Do you wake up to go? Be honest. Is there a drop in your romantic life? Prostate problems don't go away on their own, so you need to call for a free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. the #1 non-prescription formula for your prostate. The ingredients are natural. With Super Beta Prostate, you'll have less urges to urinate, less waking at night, and an improvement in your romantic life, guaranteed. Try it for free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-458-1543. Super Beta Prostate is so powerful, you'd have to take 100 saw palmetto capsules to get the same active ingredient in just one Super Beta Prostate tablet. Stop running to the bathroom and call us now for your free bottle. Hurry, this free offer won't last. Just call 1-800-458-1543. That's 1-800-458-1543. 1-800-458-1543.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at USMD Prostate Cancer Center. You know, cancer is challenging enough without having to head all over town for a test over here, a doctor's appointment over there, maybe something else across town some other direction. At USMD Prostate Cancer Center, you're going to one place. And there's one website, 888prostate.com, one phone number, 1-888-PROSTATE, and one team of doctors, specialists, patient navigators, all committed to making sure that prostate cancer is put behind you so that you can live a long and healthy life. USMD Prostate Cancer Center, the message begins with testing. Every guy needs to get tested, started with that 40th birthday, and after that, clean test, see you next year. If there's something in there, maybe it's so teeny tiny we look at it for a while. It's active surveillance. Maybe it's cryotherapy time, robotic surgery time. They do it all at USMD Prostate Cancer Center, saving guys' lives one guy at a time. So guys, let's go. 1-888-PROSTATE or 888prostate.com. USMD Prostate Cancer Center, 1-888-PROSTATE or 888prostate.com.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months on complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Debt Relief Advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-400-0096. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money you could save for free. 1-800-400-0096. That's 1-800-400-0096. 1-800-400-0096.
Hey, Jim, come on in.
Bill, this is such a great house.
Thanks. 3 beds, 2 baths, and wait till you see the pool.
How'd you get the down payment?
We didn't have to. We called NASA Federal Credit Union at 855-374-NASA and got a 0-down fixed-rate mortgage with no private mortgage insurance on a jumbo loan.
You must be saving hundreds a year with no PMI.
More like thousands. And with no money down, we were able to add the pool. And it was fast. We got pre-qualified online in seconds and closed our loan within 30 days guaranteed. If you're buying a home, you gotta call NASA Federal at 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
Wow, with 0 down and no PMI, we could buy that house Jen likes and furnish it too. But you don't work for NASA.
You don't have to work for NASA to get a mortgage with NASA Federal. Just call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
Thanks for the tip. Now can I see the pool?
Equal housing lender. Offer valid on approved credit for primary residences. Membership eligibility required. For more details about credit cost terms and conditions, call 855-374-NASA.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our president is tenacious. He is driven. He is determined. If you are a fan of President Obama, all of these are good traits. Even if you're not a fan of President Obama, those traits are good. Standing for your principles. Whether you agree with those principles or not is a different story. But if someone stands for their principles, and if they can actually elucidate those principles in a way that makes sense, and I'm not saying that President Obama can. What I'm saying is that he's standing up for his principles. How do I know? Well, he has been working as hard as he possibly can to raise the minimum wage. He's been trying to get paid sick leave and universal pre-kindergarten. This is an opportunity to get more people more opportunity to work. The kids really don't need pre-kindergarten. And until America's education system gets its crap together, I'm not really sure that I want to give them, my children, 15 minutes more, let alone 15 weeks or 15 months more. The president has had, as you well know, apart from the first 2 years of his presidency, he's had a tough time getting bills passed. And the reason that he's had a tough time getting bills passed is because the bills they don't pass congressional muster. They are flawed. They are wrong. They often lead to the wrong conclusion. Which means that they have to be redone again, and so on and so on. Well, the president decided that what he was going to do, because he was having such a tough time with Congress, was he was going to use his telephone and he was going to use his pen and just executive order his way through to a successful agenda. And that has not worked at all. But listen to what he has been doing. He has quietly racked up a series of legislative victories in the past few months. But he hasn't done it at the federal level. He's been going to city halls, state houses, and county buildings far from Washington. At least 6 major cities, Chicago, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Tacoma, Washington, and Washington, D.C., have passed paid sick leave laws in the 4 months since President Obama called for state and local action in this year's State of the Union address. Since the 2013 address, when President Obama called for an increase in the minimum wage, 17 states and 6 major cities have taken action, including Los Angeles next week. President Obama's state and local strategy may be unprecedented in its scope and ambition, though previous administrations have appointed top advisors to listen to concerns of state and local officials. The Obama White House appears to be the first to aggressively use those same channels to encourage them to adopt his own policies. Quote, "It's a change in the paradigm where we used to sit passively by waiting for elected officials to come to us. We think it can have a more substantial impact if we collaborate," said Valerie Jarrett, the assistant to the president for public engagement and intergovernmental affairs. One too many syllables for me to deal with right this moment. "I think the president has always had the perspective that change happens from the ground up, and our local and state officials are oftentimes more influenced by the will of the American people than in the politics Washington would seem to indicate." President Obama has no formal authority over state and local lawmakers, so his persuasion is soft power. The phone part of what President Obama described as a pen and phone strategy when he wanted to take action on immigration. in the absence of congressional cooperation. Ed Murray is the mayor of Seattle. President Obama has found fertile ground for this strategy in the Democrat-run cities such as Seattle. Mayor Murray pushed through the minimum wage bill and paid leave laws that have gone into effect since April. President Obama recognizes good ideas are being incubated at the local level, and those are the ideas that are going to scale nationally, says Mayor Ed Murray. That recognition can go a long way in cities such as Seattle, which often doesn't get the national attention the East Coast cities do. The President of the United States recognizing us only helps us. We do other things besides e-commerce and coffee. Sure you do. And so the community organizer is at it again. The community organizer is at it again, organizing communities to pass an agenda he can't get through the Congress. What I'm trying to figure out is why he doesn't understand why, if the Congress won't vote for it, that must mean he needs to work on it more. He needs to bargain more. He needs to politic more, and he just doesn't do it. He has set up an adversarial circumstance with the Congress virtually from day one. And he's got it. And he's got it. And so, if you were wondering why he went to, where was that place in South Dakota where he gave the commencement address? You know, where the where most of the graduating class had an associate's degree in Cal. Now we know why he's going to those small cities and states, small counties. And I suppose if he's got the time, he can do that. It was Watertown, South Dakota, where he went. Yeah, the President of the United States has been very, very tenacious. Should he quit? Or should he keep trying? A lot of very big cities have been working on all kinds of things on the president's behalf. You know, this $15 an hour minimum wage. You know, the mayor of Seattle, you know, is extolling the virtues of President Obama. But there have been a lot of restaurants in his state close. I mean, he's going to have to see it. If this is the way he's going to do business, then all you can do is try the best you can to add yet another group of people to the people that you have to keep in contact with. You see, the president, when he was working with the Congress, all you really had to do was call your congressman. When he works with the Senate, really all you have to do is call your state senators. But here's the president flitting around the country in various small towns, state houses, county buildings, politicking like mad. To do his dead level best to get things changed to the way he thinks they ought to be. In other words, he's taking advantage of the fact that he really doesn't have anything better to do. And so he can go around to these little cities and these counties and get people ginned up to follow up on what he thinks they ought to do. Normally, you would say, well, okay, I'll do the best I can. Now I have to keep track of city, county, state, local, and, of course, federal politics. Great. You know, the president of the United States has all the time in the world to do stuff like that. But I have to make a living. And it's hard to chase down all this stuff, especially in time to stop it if you believe it's wrong. You can count me into that group, by the way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him doing it. It's just that at some level, you wonder if he's ever going to get the news that we, the people of the United States, don't want his idea of great governance. And I don't know that he will. I don't know that he can. And by the way, when it comes down to all of this, there's a real problem the president has. And it needs to be talked about. The city of Baltimore is a city that has been writhing under all of these ideas for decades. Everything that President Obama is trying to get everybody to do has been done in Baltimore. Everything. That city has been turned into a political wasteland. And that is a strong testament for all of these programs the president is trying to enact. There is no excuse for the city, for the shape of the city of Baltimore. None. And I guess the president was hoping that he didn't have to, it wasn't necessary that he be absolutely accurate when he said that the Republican Congress and the Republican Senate didn't send Baltimore, Maryland enough money. The simple case of the matter is we did, to the tune of $1.8 billion. Except they didn't get all $1.8 billion, did they? No. Out of the stimulus package, $1.8 billion earmarked for Baltimore, and yet $207 million of it went to some unnamed, unappreciated, unneeded environmental project. Right off the top. $207 million gone, wasted, totally wasted. As Teddy Kennedy once proclaimed it, it's lie after lie after lie after lie. And I don't know how long it's going to be before we, the people of the United States, wake up. I believe it's happening. I believe the last 3 elections have proven it. When the president and the government malfunctions, the people come together. And I believe that that's what we're doing right now. And I believe that we are much bigger and much stronger than this government. And I'm not calling for a revolution. I'm not calling for anything of the kind. But what I am calling for is I'm calling for we, the people of the United States, to care about stopping President Obama's agenda as much as he cares about getting it enacted by any form and any means necessary. we're going to have to work harder to be a citizen of the country we want to be. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
The Mike Gallagher Show.
81% of Muslims polled by Al Jazeera say they support ISIS. Also, what are the expectations of a society to the individual? Should the majority be forced to conform for a single person? From schools to airliners, there's a raging debate about what should be done with peanut products and kids who face potentially life-threatening peanut allergies.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. The Ayatollah Khamenei recently gave a charming commencement speech. Here's how the New York Times covered the Ayatollah's speech at the Imam Hussein Military University in Tehran. Iran's supreme leader on Wednesday ruled out inspections of Iranian military sites and interviews of Iranian nuclear scientists and any potential deal on its nuclear program. Quote, regarding inspections, we have said that we will not let foreigners inspect any military center, Ayatollah Khamenei said, according to the text of his speech released on his personal website. Enough with this farce. Everyone except the JVs on the President's National Security Council staff and John Kerry and Hillary Clinton seem to know it is a farce. Pull the plug, come home, crack down on the sanctions that exist and add new ones. If the world's worst regimes go ahead and trade with the world's worst regime, so be it. Get a serious strategy together for repairing the deeply damaged ties with our regional allies and plan the two-front Cold War with the Islamic State in Iran, one which might turn hot at any moment. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
Our family had a savings account until our air conditioner needed replacing.
We had a vacation fund before our refrigerator had a meltdown.
My family has no savings and our water heater just quit.
Sadly, sometimes it only takes one home system or appliance breakdown to bust your budget. But buying a home warranty from American Home Shield protects more of your hard-earned money because they help pay your covered repairs for you. For valuable free information, go to ahs.com or call 1-800-600-5107. Who wants to pour money into repairs for things like your air conditioner, refrigerator, plumbing, oven, or washer when you get the budget protection you deserve from American Home Shield? Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade called. Some exclusions and limitations apply. It's up to you. Pay for expensive home system and appliance repairs yourself or let AHS help pay covered repairs for you. Protect more of your hard-earned money. For valuable free information, including terms, rates, and coverage, go to ahs.com. That's ahs.com or call 1-800-600-5107.
Josh DeShong sold my house. What more do you need to know? Well, actually, there are some other things you need to know. Oh, I can sell your house tomorrow. You cut the price in half. I mean, but if you don't want to fall on that sword, Josh is your guy at getsold.net. Getsold.net. People are selling houses they thought couldn't sell. They're getting prices they thought they couldn't get. How? How does this happen? How is Josh able to make you his promise that we're going to talk about a time frame and a price and agree on both? And if it doesn't sell by that time frame in that price, I, Josh DeShong, will buy your house. That's the promise he makes. How can he do that? Is he crazy? Nope. He's a hard worker like nobody's business. Market. Put it out there. Images of your home in front of far more people. That's how he will sell your house. There's a buyer out there for your house. All you got to do is find him. Josh will find him. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
our sister station.
94.9 KLTY and Interstate Batteries present Celebrate Freedom 25. Nothing brings home the memories like the official Celebrate Freedom 25 t-shirt. Just go to celebratefreedom.com and find the perfect package for your family. Get the sticker, the VIP seating pass, the poster, and more. Get as little or as much as you want. It's your day. It's your fun. It's your Celebrate Freedom 25. Celebratefreedom.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
Time now to take a look at ERCOT update. You know, you got to keep your eyes on the Electric Reliability Council of Texas because you never know what they're doing. You never know what they're going to do next, okay? This, however, I think is good. The Texas House yesterday voted to make sure Texans have the final say over who gets connected to the state's near island of an electric grid. Aside from Hawaii, Texas is the only state that has its own electric grid. It's a source of pride for policymakers. It's a brilliant idea. In a voice vote, the chamber tentatively approved Senate Bill 933, which would give Texas regulators authority to sign off on efforts to build major power lines connecting the Texas grid to multi-state grids elsewhere, projects that would allow grid operators more options for meeting electricity demands. Currently, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has the authority to approve such connections, and lawmakers led by Senator Troy Fraser of Horseshoe Bay, he's a Republican, he says that Texas should make such decisions, which would majorly impact electric reliability and prices. These interconnections can create tremendous risk for our electric system, said Fraser, including having Texas lose control over its own electrical system. The state's grid, operated by the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, covers about 75% of the state's land area and carries 90% of the electrical load. So hopefully we'll be able to keep our own control of our own grid, which is a good thing. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. Or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-1851. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-1851. 1-800-700-1851.
You'll get more floor for less money at Lumber Liquidators with incredible deals on over 400 beautiful full warranty floors from just 49 cents. This week at 5-inch wide pre-finished oak hardwood for under $1 and gorgeous click strand bamboo for $2.29. It's easy to install and 2 times harder than red oak. Plus, save as much as 45% on high quality laminate and vinyl wood plank and get 12-month special financing. Get more floor for less money with unbelievable deals on top quality hardwood. Visit lumberliquidators.com today to find a store near you.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio. I'm Steve Rappaport. The body count from flash floods in central Texas rising to 13.
Is unlike anything I have seen, and I have been in Sandy. I have seen the damage in Katrina, and what makes this so unique is the stretch is so wide.
Fox 7 Austin reporter Elizabeth Saab. Flooding also blamed for 4 deaths in Oklahoma. Another setback for President Obama's immigration reform plan.
In a 2-1 decision, the Fifth Circuit held that the administration cannot move forward with executive actions that would not only block millions who are in the U.S. illegally from being deported, but could also grant them access to things like driver's licenses and other government benefits.
Fox's Shannon Bream, a lower court judge, temporarily blocked the executive orders in February. And the Cleveland Cavaliers sweep their way to the NBA Finals, blowing out the Atlanta Hawks 118-88. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. The Mark Davis Show. Mark Davis Show.
On our Wednesday show, we'll pay attention to the Texas floods and what our neighbors are experiencing. Then we'll see what the headlines hold. Is there a growing conservative skepticism over the death penalty? Not from either, is it? But in Nebraska, a deep red state, they may do away with it. Texas is not going to soon follow, but has the death penalty become too unreliable to support? We'll kick off at 7 with Overnight News.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Summer is here, and many of you will be experiencing air conditioning issues. The Good Contractors List is here to protect you from the air conditioning companies that upsell and take advantage of homeowners when their systems break down. We've hand-selected the most honest and affordable air conditioning companies in DFW, and we back their work with our own $10,000 guarantee. They've all agreed to offer a free second opinion if you're being told you need to replace your equipment. Find guaranteed contractors from every field at thegoodcontractorslist.com.
Only at the Good Contractors List.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I'm here to warn you about a coming invasion.
Invasion of the Storm Chasers.
Yep. It's storm season, the time when everyone and their brother thinks they can be a contractor, and thousands of out-of-towners swarm the DFW area to capitalize on damages caused by storms. You don't ever have to fall prey to a storm chaser. Go to thegoodcontractorslist.com and find local home services backed by our $10,000 guarantee.
Only at the Good Contractors List.
Look, honey, this ad says we can get a new air conditioning unit for only $1,500.
That's incredible. Let's get it now.
There you go. Enjoy.
Wait, what?
You didn't think we'd install it for that price, did you?
There you go, folks. In this business, if it sounds too good to be true, well, then it probably is. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning, and if you're tired of crazy gimmicks, give us a call. Our techs don't work on commission, and we don't do high-pressure sales. Right now, with Carrier's Cool Cash, you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system. Plus, you might also qualify for an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider. So call the other guys first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than 35 years, I've made it my life's work to help people like you maximize your earnings and safety as you approach retirement. Earning a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar allows you, the investor, to have predictability on your return, which can help offset low returns with CDs, annuities, and the ups and downs of the stock market. One thing our fathers taught us after going through the Depression was that you don't want to be old and broke. When you work hard for your money, you expect your money to work hard for you. So call us today to get a stable, predictable return on your money. Get a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. It's the best way to fight inflation and make sure that you won't be old and broke. Call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444 and get predictable returns and peace of mind. That's 972-570-4444.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-200-9887. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-200-9887. That's 1-800-200-9887. 1-800-200-9887.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. We're always concerned about heart disease and cancer, and we should be. You ever hear those stories about the first sign that somebody had of heart problems when they died of a heart attack? The first evidence of any kind of cancer was after it was too big to be operable. Early detection is everything. Information is power, and honestly, sometimes information is survival. This is what Viascan of Las Colinas is all about. Viascan of Las Colinas. My friend John Duncan and the gang with the body scan, the well-view scan, they call it. All the vital organs there between the shoulder and the pelvis, making sure there's no heart plaques or blockages, no little cancer spots that could rise up and take you down. This is affordable, preventive healthcare. It is not uncomfortable. It is not claustrophobic. It's fantastic. I love it, and I love the information. It's good to know what's going on inside your body. Be Viascan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. There is a difference between responsible public policy and a bill of goods designed to attract voters. One is responsible, the other is opportunistic. One is absolutely essential to the functioning of a successful society. The other is absolutely necessary to enrich certain people within the power elite, because there really isn't anybody there to stop them. I was talking about Baltimore earlier today. It was a very bloody Memorial Day weekend. 29 people were shot. 9 of those died. It was the deadliest month in Baltimore since 1999. The Baltimore Sun reported that one of the injured was a 9-year-old in West Baltimore who was shot in the leg. Another man nearly suffered a bullet graze to his head, or nearby suffered a bullet graze to his head. 2 victims in separate shootings suffered fatal gunshot wounds that pushed the number of homicides to 35 for May. It's the 26th. More than one person a day is losing their life in Baltimore. A total of 108 have been killed in the city this year. WBAL TV reports a man and a woman were shot in a car around 12:30 a.m. Both were taken to the hospital where the man died. Officers responded to another report of a shooting around 1:43. That man died at the hospital as well. Another man was shot and killed Sunday afternoon. None of the shooting victims have been identified. The shootings and killings are all over the city. I don't think that any part of the city is immune to this, said William Pete Welch, a city councilman. I've never seen anything like this. Well, if you've never seen anything like this, then how did it happen? How did it happen? Well, here's how it happened. The police department has been dealt out of the law enforcement game in the city of Baltimore, and all of the murdering thugs know it. The city, which has seen its population fall about 35% since the 1950s, has found itself in the forefront of the national debate on policing in minority communities after the case of Freddie Gray, whose death has led to the arrests of several Baltimore police officers. You remember Freddie, he was the guy that suffered the critical cervical spine injury April 12th. After police handcuffed, shackled, and placed him headfirst into a van. He begged for medical attention. All of those pleas were denied. He slipped into a coma and died. Who has blood on their hands? Who has blood on their hands in Baltimore, Maryland? Well, certainly the mayor. The mayor of Baltimore, who said that what we needed to do was give these destructors room. They told the police department to stand down.
Stephanie Rawlings Blake.
Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake made that statement and then backed off of it as quickly as she could, but the damage was done. Black leaders from all over the country in big cities, were able to successfully peddle the notion that police officers were indeed the biggest enemy of black people in the United States. And when you get right down to it, it's absolutely and completely wrong. The biggest threat to life among black communities in all the major cities isn't the police department. It's Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood. And that, by the way, is approaching genocidal numbers in the black community. I'm not saying that the Baltimore Police Department doesn't have something to explain itself for when it comes to the death of Freddie Gray. They do. They'll get their day in court. But everybody else needs to stop and think. Is any of this working? And you know the answer is, it's not. None of this is working. The city's population shrinks every year. Why? Well, because if you're not real careful, you can get ensnared in one of these very odd racial circumstances. Seriously, everybody's saying, hey, you know, this murder wave in Baltimore, this shooting wave in Baltimore doesn't have anything to do with the fact that the police department may be backing off from a standpoint of enforcement. Nobody's going to say that. As a matter of fact, they say the exact opposite, and they are exactly wrong. The President of the United States has made it very plain that there are laws that don't need to be enforced. Mainly when it comes to immigration, but there are many, many others. So for the president to say, for example, the Baltimore Police Department, that they should stop holding back on enforcement of the law is something that the president cannot do. For that matter, the mayor told the police department to stop enforcing the law. And all of this has been carefully crafted through years of irrational and irresponsible policymaking by not just President Obama, but by the Department of Justice. I don't know how Loretta Lynch is going to fix all of it. She's made a very good impression on me in the very short time she's had her office. You'll notice that you haven't heard a lot about her either. She hasn't been saying a whole lot because she's got lots and lots of work to do, and a lot of it has to be behind the scenes. So this is a fine mess that we've engineered ourselves to be in right this very minute. The president doesn't enforce the laws. Why should the police departments do it? Especially when the Department of Justice has decided that the entire police department may indeed be racially corrupt. And so what do you do? If you're a police officer in Baltimore, do you arrest anybody? The answer is no, you don't. And there's no other way to deal with it. Sure. They'll say, no, we're enforcing the law, but they can't. So who has blood on their hands? Eric Holder does. President Obama does. The mayor of Baltimore does. Many people have heard me say this before, that most of America is psychological. We pretty much all buy in to the rightness of things. There are things that happen that shake our faith in our government, in our police departments. And all I can do is just watch and wonder how, in heaven's name, all of this is going to change. It's desperately necessary that this stop. Fortunately, and I'm very pleased to say that we haven't had any of this in Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas. Things are pretty stable here. Hopefully they'll stay that way. But at some point, somebody's going to have to decide that, race baiting doesn't work. Not enforcing the law in public, making it plain that you're not enforcing the law, saying that the law is wrong without trying to legislate it into some other different form. To say that's okay begs that this same lawlessness transcends down through the ranks until eventually you get to a city like Baltimore. 29 shot, 9 dead in one weekend alone. Unbelievable. By the way, in case you're wondering, there's a new flash flood warning for Kaufman and Van Zandt counties, also Hood, Somerville, and Johnson counties until 2:15 in the morning. A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect and remains in effect for Ellis and Kaufman County until 11:30 p.m., along with Dallas and Johnson counties until 1:15 p.m. Keep that in mind as we go into the night here on 660 AM The Answer. This is the Wells Report.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months on complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. We're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now, you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-661-2231. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-661-2231. That's 1-800-661-2231. 1-800-661-2231.
Looking to buy your first home but scared off by the big down payment?
Yeah, after paying for the wedding, we're afraid we'll be renting forever and miss out on these low interest rates.
Fear not. You can buy a home now with a zero down mortgage from NASA Federal. Plus, there's no private mortgage insurance. You could save thousands not paying PMI.
Wow, with no down payment and no PMI, we could buy that house we saw last weekend.
The zero down mortgage with no PMI is perfect for first-time home buyers who want to take advantage of historically low rates but can't swing the down payment. Just call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
I can't wait to give our landlord the notice.
To end your rental woes, call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
But I don't work for NASA.
You don't have to work for NASA to get a zero down mortgage with no PMI from NASA Federal. Just call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
Equal housing lender. Offer valid on approved credit for primary residences. Membership eligibility required. For more details about credit cost terms and conditions, call 855-374-NASA.
When you pay your mobile phone bill, are you making a political statement? Probably so. You don't even know that it's politics you might not agree with. Hey, it's Mark Davis. Major mobile companies have given more than $50 million to liberal candidates and causes. Now there's a cellular company that gives 5% to conservative causes while still saving you money. Welcome to EOS Mobile. The same service, the same quality, a better price, and a better cause. Go to EOScell.com, EOSCELL.com. Meet a company that'll save you 10 to 15% on the same phone, data, and text plans, and their corporate contributions go to organizations and candidates for smaller government, a stronger America, and following the Constitution. Imagine that. And text and talk plans start at $9.99 with a free phone. Do you want part of your mobile phone bill to help Obama, Hillary, and that side of American politics? Great service, great prices, and support for conservative causes with EOS Mobile. Go to EOScell.com. That's EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
You went to the dentist and he said you have to have a root canal and a crown. That's going to eat up almost $3,000. You could get it all for around $1,600. That's almost 50% less because you're a member of RealMedSavings.com. What is Real Med Savings? It's a membership like a discount club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. You save money because we've already negotiated the discounts. RealMedSavings.com costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. But Real Med Savings is not just for dental. It's doctor's consultations, vision, prescription drugs, and more. There's no long-term commitment and no salesman is going to call. Cancel anytime. Save real money on healthcare you need and use for everyday medical problems. Real medical savings for your entire family. RealMedSavings.com.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The last time Baltimore saw this many homicides was December of 1999, when the same number of homicides also occurred. The only month to surpass 35 homicides was the prior month, November 1999, when 36 homicides were recorded. This according to police statistics since 1999. That year also happened to be Baltimore's deadliest year. In almost the past 16 years, Baltimore saw 305 homicides in 1999. Councilmember Mary Pat Clark believes this month's violence is a legacy of the riots and unrest over the death of Freddie Gray after being in police custody in April. The riots triggered fires and looting. At least 20 officers were injured in melees. Governor Larry Hogan declared a state of emergency and dispatched the National Guard. It was an earthquake kind of time. I think we're still dealing with the aftershocks, said the councilwoman, Mary Pat Clark. Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake found the trend distressing and said that additional police would be sent to communities with the most crime. To do what? Set themselves up for a federal complaint for oppression under color of office? I mean, let's put you in a police uniform. Let's put you in a police uniform and say, okay, all you have to do is go and patrol this bit of Baltimore. And all you have to do is make sure that you don't violate anybody's civil rights at all, period, regardless of what they do. Would you go? What would happen if you did? You stand a really good chance of being heard by the citizenry. You stand a really good chance to be heard by, say, for example, a gunman. And you stand a really good chance of being thrown in jail courtesy of the Department of Justice. That's the job that the Baltimore police, the rank and file Baltimore police officers have to deal with. Would you do that? Wow. Stephanie Rawlings Blake held an emergency meeting with the police commissioner and his command staff to address the matter. We can't tolerate this on any level, the mayor said. Well, didn't you just say that you needed to leave the destructors alone so they can, what? Get tired of destroying the place? We can't tolerate this on any level. My hope is the police will have the support they need from the community to be able to get some answers and bring some of these individuals to justice. No, can't do it. And so these Baltimore city fathers and mothers will have to continue doing what they are doing, which is to run from the reality. You don't get to foment racial hatred and then say you can't tolerate it on any level when it happens. And I really hope that we never see any of this again, because it's embarrassing. If you really want to get the perfect word for it, it's an embarrassment. This is the Wells Report.
If you're turning on the AC for the warm days of spring and it's just not working or not cooling the way it should, time to call Walker Air Conditioning. Hey, Mark Davis. My friends at Walker are a family business, but big enough to cover North Texas, with reliable, honorable service for your AC units. No commissioned salesmen showing up. They're technicians sent to fix your problem at an affordable price. Oh, if it's time for a new unit, they've got all the best brands at all the best prices. But let Walker AC see what you need first, with techs who know what they're doing from a company you can trust. 52 years in the business, stellar customer reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau, specialists in AC and refrigeration for homes and business. Got a wine cellar, a wine fridge? They'll fix yours or install a new one. Walker AC, making sure you are cool and comfortable. Walker Air Conditioning. Website is walkerac.com. That's walkerac.com. Phone number is 972-4-WALKER. 972-4-WALKER. WalkerAC.com.
In 2002, a National Sleep Foundation poll found that 63% of women experience symptoms of insomnia at least a few nights per week. In my opinion, a major reason for insomnia is the Blue Card. It's a shopping and loyalty card, and it's free. That's right, free. No charge, nada. Next, you can receive up to 5% cash back on purchases. Most cards only offer 2% at most. No wonder girls can't sleep. With the Blue Card, you can also get shopping points that you could use for online purchases. So it's cash back and shopping points. Am I keeping you awake? If you refer the Blue Card to someone, you could even earn money on their purchases. No, I'm serious. It's true. But it gets better. If you share the Blue Card with a merchant, you could earn on the purchases of everyone who uses the Blue Card at their store, too. There's no way you're going to get any sleep until you get your own free Blue Card.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Our family had a savings account until our air conditioner needed replacing.
We had a vacation fund before our refrigerator had a meltdown.
My family has no savings and our water heater just quit.
Sadly, sometimes it only takes one home system or appliance breakdown to bust your budget. But buying a home warranty from American Home Shield protects more of your hard-earned money because they help pay your covered repairs for you. For valuable free information, go to ahs.com or call 1-800-600-5107. Who wants to pour money into repairs for things like your air conditioner, refrigerator, plumbing, oven, or washer when you get the budget protection you deserve from American Home Shield? Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade called. Some exclusions and limitations apply. It's up to you. Pay for expensive home system and appliance repairs yourself or let AHS help pay covered repairs for you. Protect more of your hard-earned money. For valuable free information, including terms, rates, and coverage, go to ahs.com. That's ahs.com or call 1-800-600-5107.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're debt relief advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-400-0096. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money you could save for free. 1-800-400-0096. That's 1-800-400-0096. 1-800-400-0096.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Mark Davis will appear tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock with the Mark Davis Show. What has he got planned? Let's find out.
Hey, JD, good Tuesday evening. Tomorrow morning on our Wednesday show, we'll pay attention, of course, to the Texas floods and what our neighbors are experiencing. Then we'll see what the headlines hold, and I'll have a question for everybody. Is there a growing conservative skepticism over the death penalty? Not for me, there isn't, but I have to tell you, in Nebraska, a deep red state, they may do away with the death penalty. Now, Texas is not going to soon follow, but is the death penalty becoming too unreliable to confidently support? We'll kick off at 7 with overnight news right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Thanks very much, Mark. I'll look forward to your show tomorrow morning, bright and early, my friend. And so what's happening is this. What we are seeing in this nation is a retreat from accountability. Stephanie Rawlings Blake needed to be removed from office for her statements regarding a stand down of the police in the face of a huge riot that spiraled out of control. She should have been removed from office. Politicians that make epic mistakes at the level that the mayor of Baltimore did need to be held accountable. As we have progressed, as society has progressed during my lifetime, I've seen less and less and less accountability unless there was a political imperative for that accountability. In other words, we got to get this person out of office because we have a Democrat that we want to put in that particular office. And so we cobble up some kind of ridiculous ethics charge, and because the media is complicit and, oh, by the way, corrupt, those people end up being run out of office. And why do I make it so partisan? Well, because I noticed that Charlie Rangel is still in office. I noticed that a lot of Democrat politicians who are just flat guilty of crime are still in office, still doing fine, still being reelected. Nobody's got the guts to hold these people responsible, and therefore they keep doing what they're doing. We don't have to go all the way to Baltimore for any of this. All we have to do is go to the 30th Congressional District right here in Dallas, Texas. Eddie Bernice Johnson has done nothing, absolutely nothing for that district. Nothing, except pay off political favors. That district hasn't improved one iota since she's been the congressperson from that district. Not one. Not one iota. Hasn't improved one bit. But the little political game is going along just fine, and nobody holds anybody accountable because nobody wants to stand up against those people. What do you think would happen if it wasn't for the FBI? Who do you think would ever stand up and hold John Wiley Price accountable for anything? No, that wouldn't happen. There have been some people that stood up. I remember Stephen Broden. Pastor Broden stood up. And between Eddie Bernice Johnson's operatives and the media that apparently just adores the way the 30th Congressional District has not improved one iota, Stephen Broden got hammered. But at least he stood up. He had the guts to do that. But this is bigger than just politics. This is morality. Christians have been unwilling to either stand up for themselves or stand up for their faith or even stand up for the Bible. There have been people who have just run roughshod over the Bible for the sake of politics or for the sake of their sex lives, which, by the way, is the same thing in that particular case. And because, again, the media is complicit and corrupt. Anybody who stood up to say, excuse me, was immediately crushed as some sort of, gun-hugging, Bible-thumping redneck that really had no credibility whatsoever. In the meantime, morality is taking second place to politics. It's hard to be moral. Let me give you an example of how hard it is. Nebraska is thinking about getting rid of the death penalty. Why? Because the population, I guess, has forgotten just how heinous crime can be. And they are willing to allow politicians to deal away one of society's most important responsibilities. The responsibility of ridding itself of a murderer. It is a responsibility that requires strong people to stand up for it. And there aren't many of those in Nebraska left, as far as I know. How do I know that's true? Well, Michael Ryan was convicted in 1985 of torturing and killing 26-year-old James Thim at a southeast Nebraska farm and beating to death Luke Stice, the 5-year-old son of a cult member. The 66-year-old Ryan, who led the neo-Nazi cult, was convicted of murder and sentenced to death. And for the last 30 years, he sat on the death row of Tecumseh State Correctional Institutional in southeast Nebraska. But nobody had the guts to go ahead and write out the death warrant. Nobody had the guts to take that man into a room and end his life. He died of natural causes. It is a grave injustice that this man was allowed to sit out his death sentence until he died of natural causes. The society made the determination to rid itself of this man and then didn't do it. And now they're talking about doing away with the death penalty in total, which is unbelievably stupid. Senator Bill Kintner says it this way: that was certainly justice delayed, which is justice denied. Justice denied. Accountability denied. Morality, responsibility, all denied. because the people of Nebraska did not have the strength to demand retribution from this murdering, monstrous thug. We have decided that our laws are not worth enforcing. And that goes all the way to the top. Well, when it comes back off the top, and suddenly you've got a police department that doesn't enforce the laws, and other big city police departments, boy, they got to be more careful. Because city after city, Cleveland is the latest. A police officer was under trial for murder because he killed a couple of guys in a car that had been running away from him. They finally caught the people and thought, because the car was backfiring, that they were being shot at. They returned fire. The grand jury looked at the case and said, no problem. The rabble-rousing lynch mob in Cleveland, Ohio, didn't want to allow that to be the case. So far, it hasn't blown up. But then again, Al Sharpton wasn't around. Isn't it strange that he's been so quiet lately? Why? Well, because I guarantee you that Al Sharpton has gotten a lot of police officers killed. Two of them I can think of right offhand. The two officers that were shot in the head execution style as they sat in their police car doing their job in New York City. Yeah, Ramos and Lynn, was it? Yeah. And nobody's holding Al Sharpton accountable. He owes millions of dollars to the IRS. Nobody's holding him accountable. Nobody. Nobody's holding Stephanie Rawlings Blake accountable. Nobody's holding the population of Nevada getting ready to deal away an essential responsibility of a civilized society. Except me. We're getting rid of our morality, one politically correct gesture at a time. We are going to rue the day that we decided to stop enforcing the laws of the land. We are going to rue the day that we did not hold the media accountable for taking part in allowing the law to become a political tool wielded by vindictive, pernicious, mean-spirited politicians trying to rid themselves of a political enemy and nothing else. We will rue these days. Rue them. If you're a police officer, don't kill somebody who's unarmed. If you're armed and you're being interrogated or dealt with by a police officer, keep your hands off your weapon. If somebody does something wrong, call them on it. Don't allow this to continue one more day. Our society is fraying at the edges. And it's because we are letting it. Because we are somehow not as strong in our convictions that those we convict should pay the price of their crime. It comes down to ego, I suppose. If I stand up and say that Stephanie Rawlings Blake has a hand in the deaths that are currently besieging her city. Somebody in the corrupt and complicit media will call me a bigot. While I have no problem with that whatsoever because I know what's inside my heart. There are those others who don't believe that I know what's inside my heart at all. And if there are more of those people than believe that I do know what's inside my heart, then the tipping point will be passed. And for political reasons, only I will be held accountable, as opposed to the true villain in the piece. The ones who told the police to stop doing their job. This is the Wells Report.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months on complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. Or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now, you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-661-2231. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-661-2231. That's 1-800-661-2231. 1-800-661-2231.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. Are you tired of low interest rates with the banks? I know I am. How about the deceptive terms and the bogus returns on annuities? Or maybe you're one of those who believe the stock market has actually peaked. Where can you get a decent return on your money without traditional risk? Well, I'm glad you asked. Texas First Financial offers a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. $100,000 investment returns you $9,000 in interest. No gimmicks, no smoke and mirrors, just solid returns without stock market risk. Call Texas First Financial. We have an exclusive on this investment, so call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444. You'll be glad you did.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Nobody is holding anybody accountable for anything, like nepotism, for example. Yeah, I said it, nepotism. You know, when you give family members preferential treatment in a professional endeavor, there are people suffering nepotism. For example, Kamil Abu Sultan spoke out about the grievances of Chechen IS fighters forced to wait on long lists in Syria as the people running ISIS continue to allow rich Saudi people, rich Saudis, preferential treatment when it comes to becoming suicide bombers. Yeah, you see, there is nepotism at work because Chechen IS fighters are being made to wait for Saudi IS fighters to go kill themselves, and they have to be put farther back on the list. The Chechens are very upset about this. It's unfair. You know what needs to happen, of course? Before you know it, ISIS is going to have to create a human resources department. And then what's going to happen? The Human Resources Department won't let them do anything. Problem solved. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. We'll see you later for another edition of the Wells Report.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face-to-face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors List, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors List takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors.